Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So today for you, we're going over my Commandramon deck profile for you guys. It's been no secret that I'm ecstatic for this deck. Been a big fan of the D Brigade strategy for a long time, and I really feel like this is like the best we've ever seen it, like bar none. We can finally have a dedicated mega we can go into and actually do the Evo stack. We're not just a rookie rush deck anymore, and it feels great. So let's go ahead and jump into my version of this deck. Also, make sure you check out our Etsy page, link in the description below. There you can find all the memory markers that we've ever featured on the channel in the past for you guys. So if you want to pick up a new memory marker for a new deck you're playing, definitely check that out. She can also do custom orders if there's something special you want, so go ahead and message her and ask her. Also, we've got tons of new Digimon merch going up all the time. Here is the latest one that we have. It can be either keychains or magnets. Very, very cute and adorable little acrylics. Go check those out as well. Greatly appreciate it. Alright, as always, I've got the whole deck profile pulled up for you guys so you can kind of follow along with us. The deck technically kind of has two flex spots, which you can see we just threw in Death X just there at the end. So, don't let that be a mystery for you. So right off the bat, the Missimon, this is going to be our egg of choice. I was using the reboot, but what I found was with the previous build, we were using more of the 4-drop Commandramon, and like the bigger DP, the 5K, just has a like more likelihood of surviving. But what I saw with this one in testing with my partner Hugo Souls was that this win attacking effect by returning 3 cards with D Brigade or Digipolice trait from your trash to the top of your deck, this Digimon gets plus 2k for the turn. The 2k is not the important part. The important part is the returning the 3 targets back to the top of the deck, which will help guarantee that you will have the hits you need for all of your effects here. So moving ahead, your on deletion Commandramon, you'll have your guaranteed target with that. The high Commandramon here, you'll have your win attacking, so make sure you use the Missimon first, and then you can use your high Commandramon. As well as, even if you don't have any of these effects, just setting up for other things like your level 5s or your level 6 here that play out off the top of the deck. They reveal X amount of cards and then they get to play free stuff. So just being able to guarantee that setup is huge. It also kind of actually can flex your numbers a little bit, because used to you had to run just like 20 Commandramons just to guarantee that you could have those hits, but now with this Missimon you can actually lower those numbers a little bit and still be pretty okay. So first up, we got just the vanilla 2-drop Commandramon, always just a solid include. No effects or anything like that, but you really can't beat that 2 play cost, as well as some of effects like Brigade Dramon can play out multiple targets, adding up to 7 play cost. You can get 2 of these guys as well as like a 3-drop, and it works out pretty nicely there. Moving on, we got the new Commandramon here. With the on-play search, we finally have a searcher, dedicated searcher for the deck here. It's a reveal 5, but it's only an add 1, which is kind of a bummer. It does bottom deck afterwards. You can get any D Brigade or D Police off of it, or Digipolice. And then the inheritable here, we finally have some protection as well. They really, really went all out on the D Brigade support this time around. So we finally got our searcher, as well as we got some built-in protection. So all turns, once per turn, when this Digimon would leave the battle area, other than by one of your effects, by deleting one of your other Digimon with D Brigade trait, prevent it from leaving. So that's huge. Just leaving the battle area, that's going to security, that's going to hand, that is going to the bottom of the deck. Of course, being deleted by an effect, as well as being deleted by battle, and including being put under a tamer, because it says when this Digimon would leave the battle area, not when this card would leave the battle area. Keep that in mind. That's kind of a difference between like ace card rulings and something like this. When the Digimon goes under a tamer, the Digimon is leaving the battle area, but the card itself is not. So yeah, this will protect against that as well. So super, super good all around. It's like giving all of your stuff decoy, but like uber powerful decoy. And then of course we have our classic Commandramon here that, you know, really started the whole strategy. The on deletion reveal 3 cards from your deck. You may play 1 Commandramon. There's no level or play cost stipulation to this, so the high Commandramon, you can also play him as well, which actually happens a lot. And then being able to recycle this guy is huge. So like the Missimon, repeatedly putting him back on top of the deck to then like immediately get to use his effect over and over and over. Cycling this guy as much as possible is super, super ideal. Now, you could literally just go with these 12 Commandramons and be absolutely covered because of the Missimon, the recycling, as well as the high Commandramon also acting as a Commandramon target. That would give you 16 Commandramon targets in the deck, which I wouldn't run any less than that. You could run more if you so choose, but you don't have to. I actually feel pretty comfortable with where the deck is, and I had 4 slots left that I just went ahead and added in a couple more Commandramons. I could have bumped up Satsuki and Numemon to 4 ofs, but I'll get to those later, but they kind of felt a little much at those numbers. So we just went with 2 of the decoy Commandramons. This is more so because it's a 3 play cost. I did run into tons of situations where I would reveal and it would be a 4 place cost Commandramon and I couldn't play them because of the play cost restrictions. So that's why we opted to drop the 4 play cost 5k for this one here. The decoy, not as much needed because of our inheritables here that give us the uber protection. But yeah, still a Commandramon body, 3 drop. And then I've got 2 of the blockers. Yes, Brigade Dramon will give our Commandramons and all of our D-Brigade and Digipolice blocker, but sometimes you can't get all the way up into a mega, and if you're in a situations where you need to get a block off, just dropping this Commandramon is still, you know, super solid. So just holding on to one of these in hand for like emergency situations, I'm totally okay with there. So just 2 of those in there. Again, the 4 play cost is awkward because it doesn't play with the strategy too much, but only at a 2 of. It should not be the only Commandramon being revealed off of your effects, so you should be okay. Going into our level 4s here, we have the new high Commandramon rule name, also treated as Commandramon, so you can play this guy off the on deletion Commandramon. 4 play cost, pretty low here to Evo, pretty standard. Honestly, that 4 play cost for all the stuff you get here is absolutely absurd. Just does not feel right to me, but it also does work really nicely with a lot of your other play a 4 cost or less kind of strategy. So I get that it works in the deck, like the way the deck is designed. It just, I mean, it's so much bang for your buck. So when attacking, reveal 3. You can play 1 commander or 1 card with D-Brigade or Digipolice trait and a play cost of 3 or less. And that's what I was talking about all those times about the 4 play cost. Does not work great with high Commandramon, and you do a lot of attacking with high Commandramon. Like most of your rookies, your Commandramon rookies, you are digivolving on top of these guys. You're not just like blindly swinging these guys in too much. You want to digivolve on top of them with either this high Commandramon or your Sealsdramon with the jamming and attacking with these guys instead. So you want to be triggering this as much as possible. So 3 play cost Commandramons is the way to go, not the 4 play cost ones. And then of course the Missimon will help guarantee that you will have a target there. So make sure you stack back with Missimon first and then resolve this when attacking second. And then his inheritable is exactly the same as the new Commandramon. So love that they doubled up on it. Like not only did they give us 1, but they gave us 2 opportunities. So most of our stacks, our big mega stacks, should have 1 of these 2 in it, giving us protection. So very, very nice. We do have the Sealsdramon in here. I just threw it in here as a 3 of. The jamming is nice. But really, it's still this inheritable. This inheritable is great. Your turn, once per turn, when you play another Digimon with D-Brigade in its trait, it gains rush for the turn. Like, still super solid. I mean, when is that not just great? So, yeah, went ahead and stuck with this Seals Dramon in the deck just for that inheritable, pretty much. Next, we got the Numemon. This is the new one here. So play cost of 3, which is really nice. It is a Digipolice, so we can play it off of the high Commandramon if it gets revealed. And it's really actually a really nice combo, because you can use its on-play effects. And so on-play or when Digivolving, by placing one Satsuki from your hand as this Digimon's bottom Digivolution card, one of your Digimon gains Rush for the turn. So you swing with High Commandramon, you play the Numemon off of his effect, grab one of your Satsukis from your hand here, and slide it underneath the Numemon, and he could immediately give himself Rush, or you could give something else Rush too as well. But yeah, super neat card here. Has blocker inheritable as well, just in case. And you do have some other targets. If you go into the older Dark Dramon here, he does not have blocker built in, so that Numemon could come up there. But this is just nice because you can play this guy for free off of a decent number of effects, and then he basically will get you a Satsuki in play for free. So, and then she also gives jamming and reboot. So even if you do use the Numemon to give himself Rush with the Satsuki underneath and he rushes, he's got jamming. So, like, you don't have to worry about, losing your tamer that you just got into rotation there. Next up for our level 5s here, we got the new Cargo Dramon. Really cool card. I love the design of this. I think it's really neat. So on play or when Digivolving here, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one card with Brigade or Digipolice trait, and a play cost of 4 or less among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. And this is what I was talking about. That's why High Commandramon here is a 4 play cost, is for this Cargo Dramon. Unfortunately, Seals Dramon did not get the memo back when he was made like a year ago. So that's a little unfortunate, but it's still okay. We have plenty of other targets to play off of this, so don't mind it too much. You might be wondering why you would have this on play if you haven't read the new Brigade Dramon. He can play up to 7 play cost with his effect, so you could play this Cargo Dramon and then use your Cargo Dramon on play to play something else for 4 play cost. It really snowballs, and then if you end it with like this Commandramon, then you also get your on play search. Like really nasty. It just how much it just keeps going and going. Inheritable here, all turns once per turn. When one of your other Digimon is deleted, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You may play one Commandramon among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. So similar to the on deletion Commandramon, there is just you get to play any Commandramon. There's no play cost restriction or anything like that on this one, and it is all turns. So very good. With the new Brigade Dramon, turning your stuff into blockers. So you block with something, it dies, you just reveal 3, play another Commandramon, you instantly have another blocker. So like the opponent has to chew through so much like defense when you get these like in rotation here. Next up, I do have 2 Tank Dramons in here. We are playing 6 Megas, the standard 6, 8, 10. The Commandramons are a little off there. They're 16. That's a little overkill. Usually 12 is fine. Like I said, I did throw in 4 extras here. But yeah, so the standard, we're doing, well, not super standard actually here. We're just doing 6 of these guys here instead of the normal 8. I think I said 8 earlier. But this Dark Dramon here is a play cost, and it's just a hard play anyway. And then the older Dark Dramon here, that's more for emergency situations, not overly necessary. So mainly it's 4, 6, 10, 16. When Digivolving, reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. You can play one Digimon with D-Brigade in its trait, and a play cost of 5 or less among them without paying its cost. Now, this is where Seals Dramon does come up, because these cards came out at the same time. So this Tank Dramon was like, oh yeah, like I got you, Seals Dramon. We work together fine. It's just Cargo Dramon does not work with the older stuff quite as well. At least in the level 4 department. But this one will play High Commandramon, Seals Dramon, either or there. Unfortunately, I believe Numemon here, is just D-Police. So we'll not be able to play Numemon, but that's okay. We have like I said, plenty of targets. And then inheritable here, your turn once per turn, when one of your Digimon with D-Brigade and its traits attacks, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. You may play one Commandramon among them without paying its play cost. Trash the rest. So kind of similar to the other one, but this one is more for when you're being offensive. So yeah, you're just going to swing and then play off something else. It's only a reveal 2, unfortunately, so that can kind of be awkward. It doesn't always hit. Again, if you're using the Missymon here, though, you will guarantee that you're going to be able to hit with something. So just, yeah, keep that in mind when you're moving ahead. Now, your ideal target to Evo on top of all this stuff is the new Brigade Dramon. I did decide to bump this up to 4. Yeah, I did initially have it as a 3 of, but you will not believe the number of times I revealed it off of, like, Commandramon on deletion, High Commandramon when attacking, Cargo Dramon when digivolving, Tank Dramon when digivolving. I bottom decked this card so many times, and I trashed it so many times. It was just absolutely ludicrous. So I went ahead and bumped it up to 4 just because I got tired of not being able to get it in play. So that's why this card's at a 4 of. When digivolving for 4 Evo, pretty steep, but totally worth the payoff here. When digivolving, delete up to 7 play cost total worth of opponent's Digimon. So it's total, so you can split it up there. So you can delete like a 4 play cost and a 3 play cost, or like 3 2 play cost, you know, like multiple combinations of different stuff there. So I like the flexibility of this deletion effect. I love like super flexible stuff like this. Like, that's super awesome. Opponent's turn, all of your Digimon with D-Brigade gain blocker, which is really great. Like, that's what makes this deck even better than it ever was. Like, yeah, sure, we have more ways to play Commandramons for free, which is totally cool. Like, I'm totally here for that. But also, we finally have something more defensive instead of just 4 Commandramons that have blocker. Like, we can actually like put up a real defensive fight when we need to, and then still have all of our offense we've always had, and like everything just floats. And that's what's so great about this deck is like, you kill my stuff, I just bring out another one. You kill that, I just bring out another one. You know, like everything just keeps going and going and going. It's hard to control this deck. That's why when we featured it, we went up against Vaccine Angels, because they have a ton of board removal, so much DP minusing effects here, and it was just like everything they killed just replaced itself instantly with another body. So they had to spend so much effort into clearing our field that they weren't able to always go for security as much as they'd like. So yeah, that's really great. Now that we have that blocker there, forces the opponent to deal with our floaters and stuff like that. So it's really great. And then end of your turn, once per turn, reveal the top 3 cards of the deck. You may play up to 7 play costs total worth of cards with D-Brigade, or digiplay some trait among them without paying the cost. Trash the rest. So again, just like that deletion effect, you can do like multiple combinations of stuff. You could do like a Sills Dramon and the 2-drop Commandramon. You know, you could do 2 of the 3s, or a 3 and a 4. You know, the combinations there are great, as well as you can even just play straight up one of your level 5s here if you reveal them. Both are 7 play cost. Commandramon, like I said earlier, you could trigger his on play effect and then reveal 3 more and play something 4 play cost or less. Again, the snowball effect is just so good. Now, more of getting out of the offensive part of the deck, and this is more where we get into like utility and things like that. So we have the EX3 Dark Dramon here, which this one, you can basically Evo it for free because you're going to put 5 cards with D-Brigade from your trash back on top of your deck. So he's a free Evo, which is great. So then you can turn on your Cargo Dramon or Tank Dramon inheritables that will allow you to play out free bodies. So if you don't have a Brigade Dramon, or you need a free Evo level 6, then go for this guy here. And then your turn, once per turn, when you play another Digimon with D-Brigade and traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with a play cost less than or equal to the Digimon you played, and unsuspend this Digimon. So this one's really nice when you need to go offensive. Brigade Dramon is really nice for control as well as defensive tech. But he also, like, yes, he's like defensive and controlling, but with his end of turn effect, basically he's going to set up for the following turn where you can just like rush with a whole bunch of different things. So he's a great piece for both situations, where this Dramon is very much just an offensive powerhouse. Evo for free, swing, use your Tank Dramon to play something for free, and then he will unsuspend himself, so that's great. Also, it's just anytime you play another Digimon, it is once per turn, but say you don't have the Tank Dramon, you have Cargo Dramon, so you don't get that when attacking. You swing, crap, okay, well, I can just play my 2-drop or my 3-drop Commandramon, and then he just unsuspends himself, because of that. It doesn't have to be played off of just an effect to get his unsuspend. It's just play one and you get to unsuspend. So really, really nice offensive piece for multiple attacks. And then I do have just the one of the BT4 Dramon with that rush. So return 5, and then you can make himself a 3-play cost with rush. Yeah, so kind of like the Numemon strategy there, but you don't need to have the exact tamer in hand to do it. You just need 5 D-Brigade in trash, which is very easy to do. Because remember, a lot of our effects here are trash the rest, like Cargo Dramon, Tank Dramon, Brigade Dramon. They all trash after the fact. So, like, your trash does fill up. Even with using Missimon, you're gonna have so much in trash that you'll always have targets for these two guys. Will you use both in one game? Very rarely. Brigade Dramon, like I said, is the main go-to. Next, we have a new tamer that we can use in the deck here. Drop the Izzy. Yes, Izzy was also essentially a 3-play cost as well, but I'm really liking the Satsuki here, just teched into it, so security plays itself. Start a main phase. If your opponent has a Digimon, gain 1 memory. So at worst, it's 1 less than Izzy pretty much all the time, but that's only if your opponent puts you to 1. The second the opponent puts you to 2 or higher, it's instantly just as good, if not better, than Izzy. And if you get multiples of these in play, because the Numemon playing them for free, basically, you're going to be great. So it's got the Mind Link, which if you're not familiar with Mind Link with one of your Digimon with Numemon or Manzemon in its name, or Digipolice trait. So you can't throw this underneath like any of your other stuff in the deck here. And you just basically source it as the bottom inheritable, kind of like an X antibody, and then it gives Numemon, Manzemon, and D-Brigade jamming and reboot, and then end of all turns, you can just play her right back out as a tamer out from underneath the sources. So Numemon, play the Numemon, then you get to put Satsuki underneath the Numemon for free. If you want to swing with Rush with Numemon, you can with that jamming. And then into the turn, you pretty much always want to pop her back out unless you really, really need this reboot. But yeah, you just pull her out, and then she'll be set up to gain you memory on the following turn. So I did go with 3. I was running 4 and 4. It felt a little excessive. I wanted to work some more stuff in here. But if you want to drop like your Commandramons down to just the 12, you could totally argue bumping both these back up to 4 and 4 if you so choose. Another great card, DCD Bomb. Like, this card has been like absurdly good. So 4-play cost, Digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon, then by returning 3 cards with D-Brigade or Digipolice trait from your trash to the top of your deck, delete up to 6-play cost total worth of opponent's Digimon. So same thing. You can delete like 3 2-play cost things, 2 3-play cost things, a 4 and a 2, a 5, a 6. Like, the flexibility on this is great. What I've been seeing a ton of use out of, if you watch the feature match, DCD Bomb to de-digivolve like a Seraphimon back into the Ace Magna Angemon that only has a 4-play cost. Boom, blow it up with DCD Bomb, essentially making DCD Bomb a 1-play cost to remove their Mega off the field. Like, does that not just blow your mind that you could just 1-play cost remove a Mega off the field? It feels super good. Loving DCD Bomb. Like, honestly, kind of want to even work in more, which we have the room for. We can totally do it. Next, we got defensive training here, the new training cards. So you're going to reveal 2, add any black card among them to your hand, and then delay on a following turn or any time after that, you can reduce an Evo cost by 2. What my testing partner Yugo Souls was talking about was like the deck feels more like a big stack deck. You're wanting to get into that tent pole, and I really feel it as well now. And so defensive training is great for that, because you're going to be able to get into these Evos for substantially cheaper now and more efficiently. You can literally go all the way up into a Mega by having like literally a single copy of defensive training can get you there to end your turn on a Brigade Dramon, which is the ideal thing to do. So multiple defensive trainings, get the pieces you need, and then just go all out. So went with a 3 of here. Most of the training cards I feel pretty comfortable at 3 of. Some people are playing going real heavy on the 4 ofs, but I think 3 is fine. I'm okay with 3. I do have 2 Iron Fist and Onslaught. That's just a staple for me. All the decks I build, I try to include at least 2 option cards that can kill just big bads, like whatever craziness they're trying to throw at me. If they're trying to Death X me, Iron Fist and Onslaught handles that pretty nicely. A lot of the just tentpole megas and stuff like that in other decks, if they have those ace cards underneath, feels so good, because the Iron Fist and Onslaught basically becomes a 5 play cost. That's really great. As well as, anything else, Quartzmon, just throwing examples out there of like cards that just feel like you lose against them. You got to have some way to answer them, and this deck isn't going to be able to run over anything like a black or gray mon or anything like that. So Iron Fist Onslaught, pretty solid. Just going to include that in here, because the only time I want to play an 8 cost removal card is if there's basically a big tentpole piece that I can't deal with. And then of course just the 2 Death X's. I had the room, so I tossed 2 in, expecting to play against other Commandramon decks that are out there. Oh gosh, Bloomlord is pretty popular. It got the new Palmon and Togemon and Mimi out there to work with. So, expect to see more Bloom Lord decks out there. So, Death X, super solid against that deck as well. Any wide deck that might come into the fray. You never know when Crossheart will come crawling out of the woodwork again, so having these in here for that. I don't mind Death X, and we have black megas, so we can actually evo him for the 6 on top of these guys once they've done their thing and they're they're out of tricks, especially like Dark Dramon with Rush here. Like once he's rushed and he survived, he is just a 11,000 DP mega with no abilities at all. So prime candidate for a Death X just to Digivolve on top of for 6. But that is going to do it. I know a little bit long, but I really wanted to break it down for you guys and my thought process of what we were doing here. The only things I could even remotely possibly change is just these 2 Commandramons. I could drop them entirely. I could just drop one or the other and bump stuff up like the new Maimon and Satsuki. That's about it though. And then the DCD bomb as well, like bumping that up to a 3 of. But that's really it. That's the only thing the only changes I think I could possibly even remotely want to make. Hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did and you're still here somehow at the very end, you listen to me ramble for 30 minutes. If you're not already, please subscribe to the channel. We're getting close to that 5K. Would love to end the year off on that 5K. We got about a little over a month left. I think we can do it, guys. Come on.